There is a grave disconnect between the values of an ordinary person and the act of killing another human being. In order to do a thing like that, you have to split yourself in two or disassociate yourself from the act of killing. The backlash of killing another human being or multiple beings can be handled one of two ways. You can stuff those negative feelings down and ignore them, completely denying they exist, or you can have overwhelming feelings of regret, guilt, sometimes hopelessness to the point of depression. What would you do to support our men and women with post-traumatic stress disorder?
Well, I would just mention, as a little background on physiology here, our brain is made up into two basic elements. You have a cortex, which is our rational being, and then you have the brain stem limbic system, which is where all of our love and hate in fact, it's called our reptilian part of our brain. And when you go into the military, like the Marine Corps or the Army, they teach you to love to kill, yet they want to kill every day. I mean, it's all part of a hardened soldier is a person who has not only don't they mind killing, they enjoy it. And as one general said, it's a hoot going to combat. Give somebody a machine gun with lots of ammunition and the right to go and blow people away. And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, who really enjoy that. And that's why we really should have video cameras on every soldier that's in combat so we know what's really going on. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen because it's far too easy. We all have a limbic system. And while most people don't understand it, believe me, it's alive and well in every human being. And so we don't want to bring out that reptilian part of our brain. We want to keep people sober and focused on the mission at hand. And I don't think very many members of our military understand they're not really defending our country in countries like Iraq or Vietnam. They are defending corporations who want to go in there and extract resources so they can make money and steal those resources from those countries.
All right.
That's what most of our wars since World War II have all been about, is money for corporations.
Harry,
if the average American understood that, we wouldn't be in any of these wars.
All right, James, PTSD, please.
All right, thank you, Judy. That's a great question because it really is totally unaddressed today. I mean, usually people go to the VA and they get themselves some drugs or talk to the psychiatrist. What we really need to do with these people is what I've been trying to do here is raise $10 million to buy these properties, to have these healing centers for combat disabled men and women, is that we bring them here and we help them get grounded. The government tells you for God and country you're going to kill, and what really happens is that everybody's trained that thou shalt not kill, actually. And I don't believe people in the military willfully want to go out and kill people. It just ends up being their duty. Some people may be insane and they love it. Others personally hate it. Nobody wants to kill anybody. I think we have to have centers that have naturopaths, chiropractors, healers, everything in the medical field and into the holistic health, quote, system needs to be brought here. We need to talk to these people, put them in the water. I think the water is very good because when you get in the ocean, it's like an ocean of unconditional love. Bring them back to nature. Let them know that everything's okay. There really is a God within us all. It's in nature. It doesn't have to have a name. It's the nameless one. It's a him and a her, probably. And we need to bring these guys here and not give them all these chemical drugs and screw up their brains. They're already screwed up anyways. They have to understand that our society is a sick society, as all the other societies on the planet Earth are. We've been fighting for thousands of years, and we're not going to have any peace this way. Peace is from within.
Okay, thank you. Andre?
Well, I really have to say I'm a little surprised to hear the answers that we've heard this far. Number one, the first thing that we have to do is a better preparation of our men and women. It's the initialization of these activities where things count most. And preparing them mentally, physically, and spiritually to go into combat is the first thing. The second thing is number two, we have to make sure they understand. And we as leadership have to make sure that we understand that when we're going into war, it has to be for the defense of this country and not for any corporations as as one of my colleagues has stated, it's not for greed. It's not to on the grounds of tyranny, but we have to be defending this country so that our men and women actually understand that this is in the best interest of this nation. They have they're not going to be confused about what they're fighting for or if it's really worth it. Or are they doing something wrong? It's not going to weigh on their conscience quite as much when they understand that this is in true defense of the ones that they love and the people of this country. The second part is when you're trying to treat this afterwards, we have got to bring these men and women back to an environment that is healthy for them, not to where they're going to worry about bills. And this is part of the big issue. When our men and women come back from war, they're fighting war here at home so that they can get those things which they've earned and they deserve. And that is what brings out a lot of this stress in them because they realize that I'm coming home from war. I've put my life on the line. I've taken lives possibly. Now I have to fight another war to keep my family fed, to keep my family in a home, to keep my children clothed and educated. These are the things that bring out so much of this stress. Now, this is not always the case because I've dealt with quite a few veterans and I speak with them on a daily basis.
Okay.
But this is a large part of it. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to take too long.